viewers. My name is Violet Okumu, and today I want us to look at Y-Intercept and X-Intercept. So what are they? So I'm going to start with the Y-Intercept. So when I'm talking about a Y-Intercept, Y-Intercept is where a straight line cuts the y-axis. Y-intercept is where a straight line cuts the y-axis on a Cartesian plane. So if you have a Cartesian plane here and then we have a straight line, let's say this is my straight line. This point here where my line is cutting this y-axis, this point is called the Y-intercept. The point where the line cuts the y-axis is called the Y-intercept. Now usually, we can be able to get the y-intercept from the equation of a straight line. For example, if I have this equation, y equals to 4 minus x, I will write this equation in the form of y equals to mx plus c. C is the y-intercept. This c is always a y-intercept. So I can be able to get the y-intercept from the equation of a line without even drawing the straight line itself. So if this is my equation, I'm going to write in this form y equals to mx plus c. So this will be y equals to negative x plus 4. So my y-intercept will be 4. So it means that this line of mine is cutting the y-intercept at 4. Let's say here. So it means that my line is cutting the y-intercept at 4. That is how you find the y-intercept from an equation. When you're given an equation, that's how you find the y-intercept. Another thing that you should know about this y-intercept is that if it's cutting the y-axis at a certain point, so it means that at this point, the value of x is equivalent to 0. So if this is our Cartesian plane, this is 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2. Okay, so my 1 should be there, 2 if I'm estimating, because that's what I'm doing. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Can continue. Okay. So if this is my line, and this is where this line is cutting the y-intercept at 4, so it means that here, the value of x here is equivalent to 0. The value of x at y-intercept is always equivalent to 0. Now let us look at the x-intercept. What is the x-intercept? X-intercept is where the line cuts the x-axis. X-intercept is where the line cuts the x-axis. So this means that this point here, this is the x-intercept. Now we cannot be able to find the x-intercept from the equation of a line, but you can find it. What you should know about the x-intercept is that at this part, the value of y here is equivalent to 0. At x-intercept, the value of y is equivalent to 0. So how do we find the x-intercept from the equation of a line? I'm still going to use my example. I'm going to use my equation y equals to negative x plus 4. So to find the x-intercept of this straight line, so I've said at x-intercept, the value of y is equivalent to 0. So we are going to equate where there is y. We substitute with 0. So 0 equals to negative x plus 4. And then I bring this for this side. When 4 it's positive here, when it cross equal sign, it's going to be negative 4 equals to negative x. So this negative x means that there is a 1 here. Usually we don't write when 1 is there. We only write when the coefficient of x is greater than 1. So we are going to divide both sides by negative 1 by negative 1. So the value of x equals to 4. So this is the x-intercept. That is how you get the x-intercept. Now, sometimes if I go back a little bit to my y-intercept, there is a concept that I've forgotten to talk about it. So I said at y-intercept, the value of x is 0. So when you're given equation, you can always get the y-intercept directly. That c is a y-intercept. But sometimes, because you have said that y-intercept, the value of x is 0, you can be able to substitute in the equation you can be able to substitute in the equation. So our equation is y equals to negative x plus 4. So I've said at y-intercept the value of x is 0. So we are just going to substitute where there is x, we put 0. So this will be 0 plus 4. So our y-intercept will be what? It's 4. So that is another way of finding y-intercept apart from reading directly from the equation of straight line. And viewers, that's how you find the y-intercept and the x-intercept. Thank you.